Well, we've been down here for about, I don't know, 3 hours. It's Tuesday the 5th of October. There's not a whole lot of damage. There was a lot of wind. We didn't get a lot of rain, but you can see by the tomatoes on the ground and a few stakes have fallen over that the wind beat them up a little bit. Didn't do much damage in here to the peppers. It might have broke a branch or two up there. I can see a couple pepper plants are broken down. The okra got blown over. It seems like the predominant wind was from my left to the right, because coming from the water side, maybe it was a northeasterly wind that blew these over. It won't really matter. And our problem right now is getting up pine needles. We do this 2 or 3 times, and this is one of them. And you can see all the pine needles that are on the ground. And I started on this side. I finished the other side. And I'll show you what we had taken to the dump. And hopefully you can see the end of that bag. And this trunk bed is about 8 feet out here. So they're about at least 8 feet long, maybe 10 when they're inflated. And you put them on the back of a lawnmower that you've taken the bagger part off. And these were so full that the first bag somebody stopped and got off to help us push it in the truck. Now we did use these 2 boards to put on the tailgate to slide them up, but we had to slide it up and move it over enough to slide the next one up and get it in. But they're real easy to dump them at the dump, because you just pull them out to the end and you undo the bag, which is you can pull that and tighten it up to where nothing will fall out of it. You open it up all the way and just pull it off the tailgate like that, and the stuff falls, and pull a little bit more and it falls. And at the end, you know, if you're dumping on the ground or into a chute like we do at the dump here. But I got 2 of those up, and the reason I didn't film it earlier is I must have left my GoPro on. It burned, used the battery up, so I had to charge the battery. So now we got to get up some more. You can see right here under this pine tree how many pine needles are on the ground. You have to run the lawnmower at the slowest possible speed. Even under this apple tree, the apple leaves are falling off of it. And it's just a bunch of pine needles. I mean, look how much pine needles are just falling on top of the compost, and we're trying not to put too many of them in there. You can see my bride there. She's 5'8", and if you put her next to that tree and you slowly go up, that is a big pine tree with a lot of pine needles. And this property is loaded with them, and it's all the way around us. See, all these are pines. And they shed a lot of pine cones and a lot of needles. You probably can't see it that well because it's a long way away, but there's 3 guys on the back of that pickup truck. Well, there was one tree broken up there that they are in the process of cutting down, and you can hear another chainsaw further up in this association group of cottages. So somebody else is having to cut down a tree, or at least cut up a big branch that broke off of a tree. Well, we've put some of the posts upright and knocked them back into the ground again. You can see the tomatoes on the ground. That one's fallen over big time. We didn't get to it. There are tomatoes all up and down this row on the ground. There's still a lot of sweet millions on the vine. After having 5 days of rain and cloudy weather and cool, there were a lot less ripening. But you can see how many tomatoes are on the ground. The tops are still green. We've really got a lot of dieback down here. We don't usually have this much dieback 2/3 up the plant. I mean, you can see through these. But see, normally they look like this. You have a lot of foliage down here, and you still have a lot of tomatoes. Try not to look back up there in the sun, but you can see quite a number of tomatoes on the ground. Well, it's 6:20 on Tuesday the 5th still of October 2015. We got up most of these pine needles. I didn't put any in the compost pile. They all went to the dump. And we picked the okra, we picked the llamas, we picked the green beans. We haven't checked the squash yet, and we haven't done anything with the peppers because we want them to be red. And my bride pulled these tomatoes up and I drove them back in the ground. And you can see we had to tie up some earlier in the year with the metal stakes that had fallen over. But it's sort of nice to have the grass without a lot of stuff on it. I don't know where the beans are. Here are the butter boys. There's Sweet Millions. And that's the 4th of July. We picked a heck of them the other day. We had a bag out, but there's not too many people down there to pick them up. And there's a big bag or two of green beans around here somewhere. To let you see the grass without any pine needles on it. We put some over there. We brought a pipe in the ground. Once they dig out a hole over there, put in our sewer, we hope that clay will go on top here and we can drive across this ditch. And the sun is going down, so I put it on the front truck where there's a little light. There's some okra. It's a few we missed last week when we were here 5 days ago. There's some green beans. There's some green beans. These are some llamas. There's some llamas are supposed to be pole and they're bush beans, so you get a bunch of old ones. The beans will be good, but they'll be dry. And my bride seemed to have found a few more of those. And she likes the fresh beans to fix rather than dried beans. We're about ready to go up the country. Looks sort of nice. A little sunny day. It was 72 today for the high.